try this again. See now, isn't this it's amazing? Do this here. Alrighty, I am back online. Let me see here. I'm gonna wait to see if people come on here. Okay, let me give people the time to get on here on the live chat. Okay, I see three people on here. Hey, if you guys that are coming in, can you guys just do me a favor and just let me know if you hear me loud and clear? I'm gonna try to pull this up on my laptop if I can get it. Oh, I see it. Okay, hallelujah. I see the live chat coming in. You guys can hear me loud and clear. I don't sound. I'm using the Bluetooth because there may be people coming in. I'm here in the chow hall. Just want to make sure you guys can hear me. Hallelujah. All righty then. Let me start. Abba Father, I pray that you would just give me the words. You said that you would give us the word, that we don't have to prepare, but and that I pray you'll go before this message, go behind in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. All right, guys. I'm coming to you guys. Thank you guys so much for letting me know that you guys all hear me. Guys, I'm coming to you. This is obviously, if you guys are a part of Straightway Truth Ministry, you guys know all that's going on. And now it's gotten to the point where it's now gotten to the public. And I just wanted to give a response as one of the elders here at Straightway Truth Ministry. And I'm reacting to there's a brother that Pastor Dowell's always told us to support his channel. Spoke very highly of Ringo TV. Ringo, I think he's been around, and he reacted to some videos that Pastor Rufus has put out. Pastor Rufus has put out a bunch of videos, and I say a bunch of videos, maybe one or two videos, three that I'm aware of, talking about just sharing his case. And I just want to let you guys know that this is where we got to follow the book. Okay, people are making judgments about uh, the things that Pastor Rufus is claiming. And I want to start off and read a passage. And this is a passage that I put out on Ringo TV's response to his to what he thinks is going on here at Straightway Truth Ministry, where he's only hearing one side of the story from Pastor Rufus. So let me start off with this one. This is out of Proverbs. This is Proverbs chapter 18. And let me go there. In Proverbs 18, verse 17 says, the first to state his own case, right, seems right until another comes and examine him. So obviously, Ringo's just hearing things from Pastor Rufus, and he seems right. He seems sincere. He seems like, man, he's not being treated right. He's being treated unfairly. He's not being treated biblically. We seem hypocritical because he's the first to get his story out. And now everybody's making statements. The reason why you haven't heard much from Pastor Dow, because this is an in house situation. This is not for everybody to see. This was not meant to be a public thing. This is for Straightway Truth Ministry. Every ministry, every family has their issues, and this is being handled with the support of all pastors, elders, teachers. Obviously, there's one elder that has decided to team up with Pastor Rufus, and he is not a witness because he's a part of it. He has a vested interest in Georgia and things that he did there with Pastor Rufus. So he is not a true witness of how things are being handled. If anything, him and Pastor Rufus has been working together to do the things that they've been doing. So I just want to just kind of let you guys know how come I think I can speak on the matter better than Ringo TV, who's only hearing one side of the story. And this is coming from listening to over 10 hours of videos, audios of Pastor Rufus, hearing his side of the story. Now, he didn't speak all 10 hours, but I heard audio tapes. It's about an hour or 2 hour audio tape that happened at Straightway, Wisconsin, Straightway Praiseland, up there at the leadership meeting that I did not know um, until they left, but I got to hear the video here before the feast started. I heard another audio, an hour-long audio that Pastor Rufus was speaking to some of the brothers at Straightway, Georgia. I heard another 2, 3 hour, maybe 4 hour video, audio. I think it was more audio of him meeting here at the hub here at Straightway Choose Ministry. Another 4 hour of him stating his cause or whatever concerns he had with Pastor Dowell. I've heard all of Pastor Rufus videos that he's put out, and I heard another 4.5 hours of the Straightway Georgia Saints who who lived with Pastor Rufus and heard their side of the story. So I'm coming in with a whole story. I did not want to react to anything until I heard the whole matter, and I would have liked uh, to to have thought that Ringo TV, being a man, he claims that he's holding everybody as accountable, that he would have taken the time to hear the whole matter instead of coming to a judgment call about Straightway Choose Ministry and confusion. There is no confusion here at Straightway Choose Ministry. We clearly knows what's going on with Pastor Rufus and the decisions that he have made not to be a part of Straightway Choose Ministry. Um, it's not even a sin issue. I mean, when it comes to the issue that he had with Pastor Dow, had nothing to do with a sin issue. It had to do with what he felt that he saw on Pastor Dow, which is not fact. It's just his opinion of what he believed, what type of spirit was on Pastor Dow. Now, you can't make a man see something that he can't see or what you think you see. There is no witness. He's the only one that sees some type of spirit. We don't see the type of spirit that he's talking about, but that's what he says he sees. Okay. Hey, maybe he does, maybe he don't. I'm not here to get in who said what, he said, she said, and things of that nature. What's wrong here, and this is my assessment of looking at this whole thing, regardless of what his opinion or Pastor Dow and this thing at the end of the day, Pastor Rufus did things that does not need to be brought to an ecclesiastical court or whatever you want to call that, which is very Christian anyway. How he was handled was biblical, and I'm going to show you in ways that you handle somebody who brings division. Pastor Rufus has been sowing seed of division amongst the brethren. That's what he's been doing. He's trying to cause division at Straightway Choose Ministry. He's trying to cause people to doubt Pastor Dow and his leadership. And that's all he's been doing. And that is unbecoming and is not called for. And he's been very disrespectful to Pastor Dow. You got to give custom where custom is due, honor where honor is due. And the way he has spoken and disrespected Pastor Dow in front of other people who are submitted to the leadership here at Straightway Truth Ministry is unbecoming. And anybody that should have known that is Pastor Rufus. He knows better. You don't talk. He talked to him like he was worse than a dog. That's uncalled for. You don't do that. And so now you're putting Pastor Dow in a situation kind of like a Queen Vashti situation where the king is calling his woman here and she denies him in front of the people that he has to lead. And they're saying like, wow, if if she's able to do this, do you know what she's going to do? Everybody's going to start rising up and thinking they can disrespect their husbands or whatever. And that's the type of situation that was going on. Pastor Rufus has been unbecoming, disrespectful, and he's been sowing seed of discord, division in the ministry. And this is and I'm gonna show you this is one of the seven things that Yah hates. This is actually even called an abomination. Let me go ahead and read that. Let me go here to my notes because I wanted to make sure I hit all this stuff. It says right here in Proverbs 6. chapter 6, verse 16 to verse 19. It says, these six matters Yah hates, and seven are an abomination. The seventh is an abomination to him: a proud look, a lying tongue, a shedding of innocent blood, a heart devising wicked schemes, feet quick to run to evil, and a false witness breathing out lies, and one who causes strife among the brethren. See, that's the one that Yah hates. Isn't Satan the accuser of the brethren? That's exactly what Pastor Rufus has been doing in the ministry. And I have proof, hard proof of those things. And I'm going to share those things. Um, so so those are one of the things that and it's a big thing. It's a major thing. You don't need to go before the assembly to do that. When somebody's causing division, you need to mark them, and that's exactly what Pastor Dow did. Pastor Dow marked Pastor Rufus for some of the acts, and this is not just a time thing. This has been going on for months, maybe even a year. This has been going on, and it finally rose his ugly head. And Pastor Dow has been trying to handle this in the privacy between those two and whoever was involved. I wasn't even involved. I'm just going to all the audio tapes, listen to every single thing, and it got to a point where Pastor Dow says he has to protect the flocks of the sheep, and that's his job as a pastor, is to protect the sheep from that type of spirit that's on Pastor Rufus. Pastor Rufus is not the same man that I once would call a brother. He is acting very, very. He's been taken over. Maybe he's hurt or whatever, but what he's doing is not right. Let me just show you how Pastor Dow and the leadership handled him. It says here, and if any, this is a Second Thessalonians chapter 3. Let me start right here. Romans chapter 16, verse 17 to 18. It says this: now I beseech you, brethren, mark them. See, it says mark them which cause division. That's exactly what Pastor Rufus was doing. He was causing division. We have audio tapes to support that. I heard those tapes. 10 hours. I heard 10 hours, a total of 14 hours of hearing the whole matter. So when I speak, I'm speaking based off of what I heard. And I heard Pastor Ruth's voice. I heard him speaking to the brothers, causing division, sowing seed of division. And I'm gonna even show you proof of how he handled me. I can only imagine what he did with me, and you can see it on his channel of me commenting on him trying to cause division between me and Pastor Dow. And I didn't even do anything. I just quoted a couple of scripture, and already he's attacking me. And I love the man. I just want to let you guys know I love Pastor Rufus. I want reconciliation, but how far he's gone down, I don't know if it's going to be fixable. I really don't think so. The way he's handled, he's going to have to humble himself, and I just don't know if he has that in him. Let me keep reading. So I just read Romans chapter 16. Let me show you another one in Philippians chapter 13, verse 17 to 19 says, brethren, be followers together of me, and mark them which so as ye have us as an example. For many walk, of whom I have told you often, and now I'm telling you, even weeping. This is a weeping situation, that they are enemies of the cross of Christ, whose end is destruction, whose God is their belly, and whose glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things. These are the stuff that comes to mind when I think of Pastor Rufus and things he's doing. And I want to get to all the personal stuff. I'm just here telling you guys, showing you the other side. Here's another one. Second Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 14 to 15. Keep note of this, guys. Second Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 14, 15. It says, if any man obey not our word by this epistle, note that man have no company with him, that he may be ashamed. Yet count him not an enemy, but admonish him as a brother. So when you got Ringo saying that it was wrong for Pastor Dow to tell people to unsubscribe to from Pastor Rufus' channel, that's what we're doing. We're doing this for his sake. hoping that him being us pulling away, not having no company with a person who's been marked, pulling our subscription from him, that it will cause him to repent and see the ways, see his wicked ways, that he will repent. This is a loving thing that we're to do. This is not an easy thing. I can go off with my flesh and say, I'm going to disobey Pastor Dow. That's my friend. I'm going to go call Pastor Rufus, and who cares? No, I'm a part of Straightway Truth Ministry. And the book tells us how we handle people who's been marked. And so that's why he was telling people, if you're part of Straightway Truth Ministry, you should unsubscribe from Pastor Rufus' channel. Unsubscribe from it and don't listen to the poison he's putting out there. And you wait for your instructions from Straightway Truth Ministry, if this is this ministry that you say you're a part of. So when Pastor Dow sent that out, he sent it out to people from Straightway Truth Ministry. He didn't send it for the whole world to see. That's for those who is a part of Straightway Truth Ministry to pull their support from Pastor Rufus, because that's what the book tells us to do. So Ringo TV, you need to tell us, are we supposed to ignore what we see in the book? It says have no company with him, that he may be ashamed. That's what we want. We want him to be ashamed. Yet count him not an enemy. That's why I still call him Pastor Rufus, because he is a pastor, right? But admonish him as a brother. That's what we're doing. Let me see here if there's another here. Brethren, mark him. I think I read that. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So when people keep saying, "Well, you need to do Matthew 18," well, how can you do Matthew 18 when when this is not a Matthew 18 situation? Pastor Rufus in the videos and in the audio tapes that I heard had no alt with Pastor Dow, and Pastor Dow surely didn't have any alt with Pastor Rufus. He had no alt, but he saw what he was doing in the ministry, causing division in the ministry. A pastor, when he sees that, the leadership saw that, that's why he had to remove him from his post. And it wasn't to kick him out of the ministry. It was to put him, either remove him from Georgia and put him into another location, either with Goshen or another place. But he was no longer going to be over the Straightway Georgia, because of the things that he was doing, which was unbecoming. I heard this with my own ears. So don't be so quick to make a judgment. Look at the book. We are handling it. I can tell you right now, the way Pastor Rufus is being handled, if I did the things he did, they should treat me the same way. I'm very confident. I wish I would saw things like this in the Christian church. So the way Straightway Truth Ministry has been handling this whole thing under the circumstances, it's unfortunate. It's very sad. Pastor Rufus was there for me when I was going through the stuff I was going through. And so it breaks my heart to see him doing the things that he's doing. And he should know better. He's the one that used to teach us on how to be a good help, to follow the example of Pastor Dow as he follows Messiah. And to see him doing the things he's been doing, the recordings I heard, the way he spoke about Pastor Dow, bro, I'm telling you, it would have caused me, if I was in that room, it would have caused me to rise up against Pastor Rufus and say, with all due respect, stand down. You can't talk to Pastor Dow like that. You don't talk to anybody. You yourself have called Pastor Dow a man of Yah, and you're disrespecting him in front of those who are subordinate to. And then you're talking to people at Georgia and spitting lies. And I'm gonna show you guys here. I'm gonna just give you my personal example, and you can see it on YouTube if he hasn't taken it down already. I took a screenshot of it. Let's see if I can find that screenshot. Oh man, let me see. Let me see if I can even just go to the. I'm gonna read this. Um, See if I can find it here. Hold on. But I appreciate you guys being on here. But pray, pray. But guys, I'm telling you, it's gonna be hard because the way Pastor Rufus is doing this stuff, he's making it very hard for reconciliation. And Pastor Dow has been very patient with Pastor Rufus. And Pastor Rufus even said that he wouldn't even make any videos and put it out there. And what is he doing? He's putting hours of videos. So people can sit here and judge, but at the end of the day, Pastor Rufus is not right. I don't know what is he going to say if he gets to talk to the whole assembly. It's going to be the same conclusion, because no matter what went on between him and Pastor, his behavior is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Let me see if I can find it, because I it's on my phone, and I took a screenshot, but I'm gonna see if I can go to the okay, right here. Let's see if I can find this right here. Okay. So all I did, somebody made a quote. Somebody made a quote about Pastor Rufus' 14 years of service. How how can it be so easily disregarded? And all I did was quoted a scripture out of Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 24. And all I said, but when the righteous turn away from his righteousness and does unrighteousness according to the abomination that the wrong one has done, shall he live? All his righteousness which he has done shall not be remembered, for his trespass which he has committed, for his sin which he has committed, for them he shall die. All his righteousness which he had done shall not be remembered. Let me take that back. Remembered. For his trespass which he has committed, and for his sin which he has committed, for them he shall die. So all I was making the state, I was just addressing the 14 years that, yes, when you're doing this stuff, everything that you did good can be forgotten according to Yah. And you see that in Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 24. That's all I said. I didn't even give an opinion. I didn't make a judgment. That's all I said. So let me go on. So people were like, I'm talking about, it was a wildfire. Over 23 replied to that, just attacking me. And you see Pastor Rufus going in there liking it. What is there to like about the? No one liked the scripture that I quoted. That no, I didn't see a like from Pastor Rufus. He says it's about the word. I don't see a like, but he's liking all these misfits, all these people that has an issue with the ministry, people that he may have helped to make judgments to get them kicked out of the ministry, and now all of a sudden he's agreeing with them. Amazing, utterly amazing. Let me keep going here. I'm gonna I'm gonna show you how he caused division, how he tried to cause division between me and Pastor. Bear with me here. So somebody came in. This is how I responded. I said, 14 years should never be so easily disregarded. My response was to address that comment and that comment alone. 14 years, heck, 50 plus years of righteousness can easily be forgotten according to Yah. That's all I was making the point. Now you would think I didn't make a judgment. All I was just addressing was the 14 years. It doesn't matter. It's 14, 50, 100 years. Yeshua, look at Moses. Moses, he hit the rock 2 times. All the good he did, he hit the rock 2 times. He wasn't allowed to make it to the promised land. He wasn't able to make it to the promised land because he disobeyed God. There's consequences for our actions. There's consequences, even for a pastor. And I speak knowing that I can be judged. So this is not me just being hard. I love Pastor Rufus. I'm indebted to him for the things that he did for me, when I was going through my time. But what he did is uncalled for. You can't do that. It doesn't matter, right or wrong. There's a way to handle it. And then you want to call Pastor Dowell a King Saul. So what does that make you, King David? King David didn't do what you were doing. If you think you're King David, you sure not acting like King David did. You acting more like an Absalom. You are trying to win the hearts of the people and cause division between the people here at Straightway to win people after stealing the hearts of the people because they respect you, because you have the ability influence that you have, trying to steal the hearts of the people here at Straightway Truth Ministry. People came to Straightway Truth Ministry because of the things of what's coming out of Pastor Dow's mouth. We are supposed to be helpers, helping him to do a good work and what Yah is doing in him and through him. So anyway, somebody came in, I told him you're correct. uh Even if you did a bunch of wickedness and then you repenting, you did righteous, all your wickedness will be forgotten. I acknowledge that. I just acknowledge just the word. But then Pastor Rufus decides to comment, and here's his comment that I'm going to read to you. I said, and I even put this out there. I said, I said, for the record, which I already told you, I heard over 10 hours of Pastor Rufus' side of the story because he said that I never called him. I never heard his side of the story. But when I made this comment, this was after 10, 14 hours. And I'm talking about normal play. I just listened to Ringo's 7 hours reaction, Ringo TV reaction, and I had to listen to that on two times the speed because 7 hours is a long time. So that was another 4 hours listening to it in two twice as fast. He talked slow enough that it sounded like it was still normal. But anyway, I said, for the record, I heard over this is what I said on Pastor Rufus' channel. I heard over 10 hours of Pastor Rufus' side of the story and another 4 hours of testimony of saints in the community. And I had made no judgment on this platform for the record. Lastly, Pastor Rufus is correct that I did not call him since he was marked by Pastor Dow. And then I go on and tell him, and now I beseech you, I just read that to you, so I'm not going to repeat that. But pretty much I quoted Romans chapter 16, verse 17 to 18. He was marked. So we can't have any company. So I couldn't speak to him. So then look how he responds to me. And I want to show you how Pastor Rufus, what he did, it just solidified what he's been doing behind the scene. See, what you do in the dark will come out in the light. And what he's been doing in the dark has been exposed. And now we're dealing with this. Look what he did on this thing. You can go and check it out. 5 days ago, this is what he said. His response to my response. His response to me. This is his. He says, KGB TV. He says that's a lie, Elder Kabir. I don't even have 10 hours of testimony. Okay, and I've clarified that. He's right. It wasn't full 10 hours, but I heard 10 hours of audio of him going all the way explaining why he did what he did, very exhaustive to the end. It finally came to an end of the conversation. So I sat there and listened to the very end of every audio I listened to. But he did majority of the talking. With him and Pastor Dow, he did not 80% of the talking. 80%. When I heard his voice, the meetings that he was in, the recording, he did most of the talk. When he was speaking to the people in Georgia, he did 100% of the talk. You hear no response. That was all him. So when I say that, I'm speaking truth. But this is what he said. That's a lie. I don't even have 10 hours testimony. Okay. I can see what if he wants to be so concrete, he wasn't speaking all 10 hours. So I'll clear that up. You're right, Pastor Rufus. You didn't speak the whole 10 hours, but I heard 10 hours of audio and you spoke the majority of that. And the testimony of my brother is false and influenced by King Dow. See, he's being disrespectful. Pastor Dow has never referred to him as a king. He's never referred to himself as King Dow. That's what I'm talking about. The type of disrespect. Keep calling him out of his name, out of his title. He's not no king. Pastor Dow will be the first one to tell you he's no king. King Dow too. To the let me go back. He said, and the testimony of my brothers is false and influenced by King Dow too. Those saints wanted for nothing, and I never misappropriate any funds, and they all know that. Correct me if I'm wrong. That meeting was 4.5 hours long. And was that the entire meeting of Georgia Saints testifying about me? Or Pastor Corey twisting and misquoting scriptures just like Elder Kabir is attempting to do. What did I just said 14 years can be wiped away. You can go read it yourself. That's no attempt. That's facts. That's biblical. All I'm saying is that it doesn't matter how much you've given, how much time you've given. If you start and you turn away from your righteous ways and you start walking in wickedness, it will be forgotten. Straight up. It says it right there in the book. We should all fear that. I have a fear knowing that it doesn't matter. All that I've done is what you've done to me. What have you done today? I'm trying to walk faithfully as much as I can. And when I fall, I want to get back up. I want to make sure that my sin is before me, not after me. So anyway, he says attempting to do. You think now listen to this. Now I want to show you how Pastor Rufus, how he talks to you, how he tries to get you to doubt yourself, and how he sows seed of doubt or division amongst the brethren. He did it right here. It's on his. I already took a screenshot in case he takes it down. He says you think after this man has been railroaded by his ex, he's talking about my ex-wife, that he will understand what it's like to be falsely accused. I don't even know. He says, she says, I'm not getting into that. But this is what he's saying. So falsely accused. So now he's bringing up something from my past to try to put me in my place. I get it. Okay. I should understand, and I do understand what it's like to be falsely accused. Then he goes says, King Dow can't even. He says, King Dow can't mark me. Well, if he can't mark you, uh, isn't this Straightway Choose Ministry? Is not Pastor Dow not the founder of Straightway Choose Ministry? How is he not able to mark you? And it's not like he's marked you all by himself. He's marked you with the support of elders and teachers and deacons. So he's not just marking you by himself. We support Pastor Dow marking you because of the things that you've been doing. He's not just marking, he said, today I feel like just marking Pastor Ruth for no reason. You're being marked because of the wickedness you've been doing behind the scenes. And you come off on these videos and you sound sincere and you're saying one thing, but you're doing another thing. And that's wicked. And so you got all these people that don't know what to believe in. There's no confusion here at Straightway Choose Ministry. We know exactly what's going on. And for you guys that don't know what's going on, that's what you just leave it to the leadership. We're handling it. This was not supposed to even get out there. But Pastor Rufus, because he didn't like how he don't mind judging people, but now when it's his turn to be judged, now he doesn't like how the judgment is being handled. Much is given, much is required, Pastor Rufus. You can't expect to be a pastor and doing the things you're doing and just get a slap on the wrist. You can't do that. Because you are a pastor, you have too much influence and you got too many people who are simple minded that they will follow you and not really do the investigation. Let me keep reading here. I want to show you here. He says you think that after this man had been railroaded by his ex, he will understand it's what it's like to be falsely accused. He says King Dow can't mark me, and what you should be concerned. Now this is where he calls division, but it's not going to work. He says what you should be concerned with is why didn't King Dow deem you worthy enough to be in the ecclesiastical council? I requested you, which I found out was to be a lie. But he says, I request you, and King Dow said, no. I wonder why. See, when somebody is doing wicked, see, I'm gonna tell you what this remind me of, but let me finish. But he says, I wonder why. See, he wants to plant a a seed of doubt, like, yeah, why didn't Pastor Dow call me? I'm an elder. Why didn't he call me in the ecclesiastical council? I was requested for it. Man, maybe I'm being used. Maybe that's where you have all these negative thoughts try to come into your mind. Bro, I stopped that right in its tracks. See, when somebody says that, they're using manipulation tactics, they're using witchcraft. It's not going to work on me. See, I've seen this spirit before. I've seen this spirit that Pastor Rufus is operating in it. Let me go ahead and finish. He says, I wonder why. A lot of people, he says, a lot of people's faith will fall once they see what me and Elder Brent is saying is 100% true. And all this is because King Dow and and that King Saul spirit he hath. Yah will judge this matter, not wicked influence jealous men. I don't know what Pastor Dow is jealous of about you, Pastor Rufus, but let me tell you what this remind me. I'm going to end up on this stuff. I remember when I was going through my divorce, this same spirit that's operating Pastor Rufus is the same spirit that was working in my ex-wife. I remember when I found Straightway Truth Ministry from my house. I'm looking like, man, this they're speaking truth. I discovered Pastor Dow. Yah led me to him. And obviously, he was speaking with words that I wasn't accustomed teaching my children about, saying shit, damn, what we will call curse words or bad language. But Pastor Dow was speaking truth. And I remember talking to my wife and said, hey, let me do more investigation on this stuff. And I will share this with the family, but just right now, don't say anything. Let me just do it. So I'm here doing my investigation, and then uh, um, uh, whenever it happens, I went to one of my sons. He was my third son. I said, "Son, I think I may have found a church that really do what the Bible is doing. I think I found a pastor." And he says, "Are you talking about the pastor that curses?" I said, "Who told you that?" See, what did she do? See, my ex-wife, but my wife at the time, went and started telling my children, "Look what your dad is looking at." And that's when my children start having doubt about my leadership and about my mental capacity and what I was getting into. See, she did that. She went out before me to sow seed in those who were simple-minded, like my children. They were young, 16 and all the way down. And that's what Pastor Rufus is operating too. He knows better than that. He knows that what he's doing will cause division. He knows what he's doing. And that's where I was disappointed. I'm not disappointed about what he think he saw on Pastor Dow and this and that, but the way he handled himself in that. Hey, let's give Pastor Rufus the benefit of the doubt. Let's just give him the benefit of the doubt. And I'm only giving him the benefit of the doubt just to make a point here. Not that I agree with him, but let's give him let's say he was right in his assessment what he saw. But guess what? He was wrong in how he handled the whole situation. There's a way that you handle it, and he didn't handle it like King David. He didn't handle it right. Period. It was wrong. It was wicked. He handled it wickedly. I will use those strong words. Let's just say he was right because it was his opinion. But let's say he was right. The way he handled it was not right. It was wrong and it was wicked. There was no sin. He even said it. This stuff is not a sin issue. This is something that he thinks he saw in Pastor Dow. He thinks he's jealous. It's just accusation. He's dealing with an accusing spirit, if you ask me. It's a bunch of accusations, but none to back it up. None to back it up. And Elder Crago is not even a true witness because they're both in it. They're both in on it. How you only going to have one elder and all the other elders and we all united, and you have these two? And they both have something. I don't have any vested interest in Georgia or anything money wise or whatever. They got something together. And so that's why Elder Kragel's testimony is not legit because he already came in trying to booby trap Pastor Dow. So anyway, I'm going to leave it as that because, like I said, this is really family business. And the reason why Pastor Rufus has been marked and is no longer a part of the ministry is because of the actions that he has done, which was unbecoming. I played in the NFL. I'm gonna end on this one because I told you, but I'm gonna end on one more. I remember playing in the NFL, and I have never made this public, but I'm about to make something public here because it's not a big deal. But I just want to tell you that I can relate to what maybe Pastor Rufus is feeling, his feelings, his emotions. Doesn't mean it's right. But I remember one time when I was playing for the Green Bay Packers, and this is in the world as a Christian. And our coach at the time, Mike Sherman, got fired, and they hired a new coach, Mike McCarthy, who's now the Dallas. He's the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, and I guess it's first time interviewing, and they were asking what does he think about certain players, and boom, 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 and he mentioned me, and he mentioned that man, that KGB, he's light in the ass, soaking wet. He's about 235, 40 pounds. I don't know exactly, but it was like my real weight there, like he's putting a mark. And in NFL, you don't do that. You don't put a target on your team on your players back where now teams are thinking like, oh, there's a weak spot there because even the coach don't even have confidence in him because he's too light in the ass, whatever, something like that. But guess when I heard about it? When I first heard about what the coach thought about me and what I can contribute to this team, being the head coach of the Green, I didn't even get to meet the man. I didn't even get to. I'm just in my locker room, just finished working out, and then I get cameras in my face telling me what he said. And you know what I said? I said because I'm going to keep it united because I know these media all they hear is to find blood. And you know what I told them? I say, you see that G? That G is not Baja Biamila. That G is the Green Bay Packers. And I am a player for the Green Bay Packers. And the head coach is Mike McCarthy. And my job is to do my part to help Mike McCarthy get this team to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. That's my job. So if I need to do this or that, that's what I need to do to help him to win championship. Now, guess what? As soon as I said that to me, like, dang, shoot, they were looking for blood. And you know what they did? They left. And guess what? I was hot. And it's hard to get me offended. I'm just letting you go. I'm usually a happy-go-lucky kind of guy for the most part, especially back when I was in Christianity. And I'm telling you, I was offended. I was offended with the new coach because no coach from high school, college, pros up to this point has never did what they always protected me and always lifted me up. Now, if they had issue, that was always between me and in a meeting or within the team, but not put it out there in the public. I was offended. And I'm a veteran, pro bowler, one of the highest paid player. I was offended. And I think rightfully so. Now, that's just me. That's my opinion. So as soon as the media left, I put whatever clothes I need to put on. I took a beeline and I went looking for the head coach, Mike McCarthy. I happened to see him in the hallway because he just finished doing a press conference. So I saw him in the hallway and I said, Coach, may I please speak to you? He said, sure. We looked at the closest meeting room. I don't know what room. It could have been the tight end room, but it doesn't matter. It was a room. We went in there, closed the door. I said, and I'm pissed off now, okay? But out of respect, I said, Coach, is it okay for me to speak to you freely? Can I speak freely? Meaning, let's get past all the jester and head coach and boom, boom, boom. I need to get some stuff off my chest. So I asked him, now this is how I said it. Can I speak freely? He said, sure. He granted me the opportunity to speak freely. And guess what? I didn't use that liberty to be disrespectful to the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. But I was able to express, I said, Coach, I really don't appreciate you telling the media about my weight and what you think about my weight. If you have some concerns about my weight, I will prefer you to tell me and give me a chance to do what I need to do to get it right, so I can do help you win teams and win games and things of that nature. That's all I'm asking for. He listened to what I had to say. He says, duly noted. That's what he said. Duly noted. I had to go look that up. But he says, I duly noted. And after he said that, I said, thank you for allowing me to speak freely. And boom, that was it. Guess what? We had a good working relationship for the next 3 years. Next 3 years. You know where I got that example from? The book. You go and treat those who are over you. I didn't go out there and say, you mother, blah, 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 and you, because if I did that, I would have lost my job. KGB would have been cut that day. And I'll be wondering what happened. I'm a veteran and, all-time sack leader, bloom, 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 bloom. No, you can't disrespect your boss. You can't do that. That's in the world. And you don't think that I saw spirits on Mike McCarthy and all the coaches that I've ever had? Oh my goodness. They cussed you out, did all types of stuff, and I was able to still show honor and respect to a heathen, to a non-believer. I was able to do that. And we can't do that for the man of Yah. So that's why I understand what he's going through. Maybe he has a valid point, but he didn't handle it right. And us being commandment keepers, you would think we would have handled it the way I did it when I was in Christianity. This is this is this is following Yeshua 101. This is commandment keeping 101. This is easy, especially for a pastor. But maybe he got too comfortable. Maybe he thought, like, now I'm a pastor, I can talk to me how I want. Maybe I'm equal. I don't know. So I understand what it's like to be misunderstood, to be disrespected by somebody who's greater than you or who has a higher title than you or whatever. But you go and treat him. I learned that from Queen Esther. She came in there, boom, she fed him, boom, and she entreated the king. So that's where I'm disappointed with Pastor Rufus. Not about his concerns and that's a he said she said thing. There's no way to judge on that one. That's his opinion. That opinion, there's no Torah on that one. But the way he handled it and how he went to sow seed of doubt with other people in the ministry, especially the one at Straightway, Georgia, and the things that he was doing, it was wrong, guys. It's causing division. And the book tells us how to handle those who cause division. And that's what Pastor Rufus did. And I don't support that. I'm not saying I don't even know his true concern from what I'm getting gathering. Okay, maybe he has a point, maybe he doesn't. I don't know, but the way he handled it was wrong. And I'm a person that can tell you I can relate when somebody in a higher position can treat you wrong. And if you look, go look. Matter of fact, and I'm gonna put on the thing. I'm gonna put an article of when I got cut from the Green Bay Packers. Look how I handled myself when I got cut from the Green Bay Packers. Even the Packers was more. They said, "Man, this was a class act." The way he left and the way they did me was wrong. They cut me halfway through the season. And they said the way KGB left was classic, class act, they called it. Class act. I'm going to put it out there so you guys will look like what it should look like when you are part of a organization, a ministry, how you should act. Even when you're being doer, I'd rather be defrauded than be the one. Yah, vengeance belongs to Yah. If he was really right, then let Yah. Where's your trust in Yah? Trust Yah. So I'm gonna when I'm done with this video, I'm gonna put that article in there so you can read and look at the testimony from heathens, non-believers, on how they looked at like, man, no one does this. Brett Favre left. Look how he left. When he left, he left disgruntled, caused a big scene. I can go list, but when Kabir got left, I didn't get a goodbye. I didn't get to talk to the media and do my little last tour like Kobe Bryant. They cut me halfway through the season right after a bye week. It was just and guess how I left? I left on a good note. That's why they put me in the Packer Hall of Fame immediately when I had the opportunity when I was eligible. So that's what Pastor Rufus should have done. So anyway, I'm done. This got way longer than I wanted to get done, but I just wanted you guys to know hear from me. I heard hours of audio videos, heard it, Marco Polo, all the different things. I heard it all. And so Ringo TV, the next time you go and make an opinion, put your mouth on this ministry, know the facts. You should know better than that. There's always two sides to a story. You only heard one side of the story and you're making judgment calls. Things that we do on the inner workings. Pastor Rufus is wrong. He's the one that's making this a public thing. This was not meant to be a public thing. That's why you haven't heard anything from Pastor Dow. I'm putting this out here to let you guys know I heard both sides of the story. And I'm telling you what he went wrong. You don't cause division. That's an abomination to the Most High Yah. You don't do that. And that's why he got marked. And that's why he's no longer a part of Straightway Truth Ministry. So you heard it from me. Straight truth. All right. Talk to you guys. Check out that article. Shalom, shalom.